Yeah, I was born to be reborn, I could never conform. The planets had a rubber energy, but I can't measure everything, they don't fuck with me. So just kneel, bitch, and just kiss the ring. Yo, I was born to be reborn, I could never conform. The planets had a rubber energy, but I can't measure everything, they don't fuck with me. So just kneel, bitch, and just kiss the ring. MoorVue Podcast welcomes you here in MSFMoA, what we call North America, but as Moors know, we call it MSFMoA. That's what Christopher Columbus called it. That's what historians call it. Historically, that's what it was called. So we're going to do, on the first MoorVue Podcast, we're going to do a more history, a more real history. Quick fact. Slavery. What we know of slaves is that for some reason or another, only the people that look like me, or possibly if you look like me, have hue skin, not black skin. The only thing black on me is my hair. But having hue, having pigmentation, having melanin, having carbon in your body, we think for some reason, not based on all historical facts, but we really feel that the only people that could possibly be slaves were people that looked like me, or for those, us. False. It's a false narrative. It's a false reality. Point of fact. If you was taught any civics, I'm 45 years old. I was born in 1975. So I understand school system now. I want to eliminate a lot of different things out of school. Some things I agree with, some things is very choicy. So one thing that we was taught in civics or U.S. history or social studies before civics, before U.S. history in elementary, we was taught that the first quote-unquote settlers were from Europe. Croatoan. They didn't last. When the net settlers came, there was nowhere to be found. All thing was found on the tree was written Croatoan. No one knows what happened to them. Quote unquote, this is the history that was taught in all social studies books. Now these net settlers still came, quote unquote, from Europe. There were a caste system in Europe where you had the royal family, and then to be a royal family means you own the land. If you don't own land, you can't be part of the royal family, i.e. Moors, the royal family of Northwest MSFMoA here, Northwest Africa here, North America. So the indigenous people. So these people that came from Europe over here, that they were sent over here, were not rich. These were, in many words or less, prisoners, serfs, peasants. As stated in their history, they sent the worst of the worst here for punishment. They were sent here to fulfill out their sentences as locked up peasants, serfs, criminals, destitutes, Slavs, slaves. The first slaves here, point fact, were Europeans. Now, I understand with the 1619 Project, no disrespect. I understand in many African studies, no disrespect. Pan-African studies, no disrespect. U.S. history, no disrespect. World history. Try to skip over this fact that if we came here first, quote unquote, then who brought us here? Question, right? Because they had to come here first to bring us here, correct? Then who was here first? Now, I don't claim by no means to be African from the Africa continent. I understand that we are African descendants, but as a Moabites, we are Moabites ancestry. So we don't claim to be slaves. If anything, in our history, we own them. Had a different type of slavery, more indentured servitude, meaning you could get your freedom. And also, we got to skip over the fact there's a book called The Forgotten Cause of the Civil War. This book, if you look it up, it's probably about, I don't know, over 1,000, 5,000, 6,000. It is not below 1,000. But this book, Forgotten Cause of the Civil War, if you read this book, the number one reason for the Civil War was to stop European slavery. Because over 50% of slaves before the Civil War, 1863, 1865 here in North America, were mixed or white. Over 50%. And, point of fact, there was no law that said you had to be any skin color, any race, any nationality to be a slave or a slave owner. Point of fact, there's no law for that. So it does not state. So we have to think. If it doesn't state that, the slaves, they by law they had to be. No, there was no law for that. No law that said the slave owners had to be a certain other race and nationality. Like I said, most point of fact, we own slaves. But we were slaves. So that's a little quick, more real history. Come more and more, starting new, brand new, 2021, July. Bringing the MoorVue Podcast. More reacts, more economics, more banking, more law. Cover everything can possibly cover. We have to cover it as our culture. Can't just do one thing. We have to encapsulate it all. So I'm Nova L, Dallas L Bailey Bay, Morris Ministry of America, Morris Society for Ministry of America, presiding officer, consul, foreign ministry, foreign minister. So anyway, you can contact me at eps.more@gmail.com. There, I can help in many range of areas. Help anyone proclaim the nationality. Help with bot exemptions. Can't say the word shot, but bot exemption forms for any of those that need it. So we don't have to worry about things we don't want in our bodies. Next time, peace, great health. Peace and great health.